Hello again, this is News Today. Now, residents and school children in Kanda are worried more lives could be lost if the broken down traffic light in the area is not fixed. According to them, the traffic light ceased working as far back as 2009. Our reporter Matilda Nyakwa Dennis says more.
There is no need to hurry across this road unless in an attempt to shorten one's life. The Kanda road leading to Circle is not also for the impatient because of the risk of a car accident. What is even more alarming is that the frequent road users of this road are school children who sometimes cannot be bothered waiting for the right time to cross. Many pedestrians have been constantly killed by speeding vehicles. Now, this very dangerous road is located right next to the Kanda cluster of schools, and there are so many school children who always try to cross this road. Even as an adult, it took me about 15 to 20 minutes standing by the roadside before I could cross the road, and even that I had to run across the road because there's no traffic lights. People have to speed right down from GBC because there's no traffic lights all the way towards Circle. So if nothing is done, many more innocent lives will be lost, because residents tell me that almost all the time children are being knocked down, even adults are being knocked down. How much more these young children who do not even have the strength to, or even the patience to cross this road. I spoke to some children and residents.
We used to use the road at the GBC junction. The traffic lights there has been spoiled for a long time. There's even something showing that children are crossing. But the pedestrian crossing, when people get closer to the pedestrian crossing, that is when they accelerate. And so you find these children waiting. Some of them even don't have a sense of danger, so they will just try to cross.
When I'm crossing this road, it is very, very difficult for me to cross. I can stand here about 15 minutes. Without any car stopping. We have to wait until there is no car coming. So please, we want people to help us, especially when there is traffic on this route. Motorcycles will never stop when they see you crossing.
At first, I've been going to my sister's school with my brother, but it was very, very dangerous. So our mother said we should stop crossing so that she herself will come and pick us.
So why is it dangerous? Tell me.
The cars are speeding, and when one stops and the one beside it that is coming does not want to stop. So sometimes we stand there for about 15 minutes to wait for the car to be far away before we can cross.
This cocoa seller by the roadside adds her voice. Just take a look at this near accident that almost took place in less than 30 minutes as we pitched camp near the road. That traffic light, because as you can see, it is not working, it's just there, and I'm told that this traffic light has been off since 2009, and most of those who cross the road, especially in the evenings, are children who have closed from classes, who've closed from school. And as you can see, most of the children, they have to run across the street. If you are not patient enough to wait for 15 to 20 minutes, then you risk being knocked down by a car. So something urgently needs to be done until another disaster is recorded. Matilda Nyakwa Dennis for Joy News.
Now, Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Education, Paul Krampa, says the National Labour Commission has asked striking Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana members to call off their illegal action and return to the classroom. Speaking on today's big story, Wednesday, he said issues raised by Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana members were already being addressed by a committee set up by the Ministry of Education. SETAC has been calling on the Ministry of Education to give them 70% of their current gross salary for work done over the years.
The National Labour Commission gave its ruling by asking the SETAC to call off their strikers. They describe it as unnecessary and then illegal. they were asked to call off the strike action immediately. Well, it means, right from the very outset, we indicated that it was an illegal strike action because, all the issues that they raised are issues that have been addressed by the management of the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education, right since last year, has set up committees to look at some of the issues that have to be considered to migrate the College of Education into full tertiary institutions. 3 committees were set up. One for condition of service, one for scheme of service, one also for status of the College of Education. Now, the committees have all completed their work. Part of it, set up was part of the part of the committees that were set up. So all the issues that were raised were issues that they themselves were very much aware that were being addressed by the Minister of Education. When you are transiting one group from one point to another, you don't have to rush through it. You need to take time to look at issues critically before arriving at conclusions. But in this case, there was absolutely no break in communication. The process was ongoing. People, those who were actually charged to look at aspects of the distance were also working around the clock to ensure that there was full migration of the College of Education into full tertiary status. Right. And even just this morning, we received a letter from Fair Wages Society Commission inviting the principals of College of Education for a meeting on Friday. They have even extended an invitation to SETAC as well, that they should also be at that meeting. So this alone shows that, the process that we actually started was being addressed.
Well, I'm joined over the telephone by 2 gentlemen. There is the National President of the Teacher Trainees Association, Mohammed Amin Mansiru. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too. And then on the other line, I have Prince Obin Ohime, who is Secretary of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana. Thank you very much, Prince, for joining us as well. Hello, Prince.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you very much for joining us on News Today as well.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Prince, I'm going to start with you. Paul Cramper of the Ministry of Education says a committee has been set up to deal with your issues. Then the Labour Commission has also intervened. It makes your strike illegal.
Yeah, correction. My name is Prince Obinhima, not Prince Ohine.
Right.
The Labour Commission has ruled that we call off the strike action and declared our action illegal. We as SETAC, we are law-abiding people of Ghana. And we're happy for one. Yesterday, it got established that contrary to what they had put out there, that they invited us and we had not come and whatever it is, it got established that the very letter that was supposed to have been sent to us to respond to that or to attend that invitation wasn't sent to us. It was still with the National Labour Commission. So negligence on their part, no fault of ours. Substantive issue, we are supposed to call off the strike action. Yes, we are law-abiding people. The National Labour Commission has the power of the court and the High Court or whatever it is. So when they give their ruling, it's like appearing before the court. Let us also know that the very constitution that mandates them to operate as such also mandates people who appear before the committee and have reasons to suspect that they were given unfair hearing which is against natural justice to also go to court or whatever it is. In the meantime, we are still in Accra because we have to appear before the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission tomorrow. And the national executives, we all came to Accra yesterday. We couldn't have come back to Kumasi today and then return to Accra tomorrow. So we decided to stay around so we'll attend that meeting before coming. We have decided, and that is what falls within our operational procedure. We have to call a meeting of the National Council made up of local chairpersons of all the associations in every college. So we meet in Kumasi on Tuesday. They report on Monday. We meet on Tuesday and decide on the fate of the action. Remember, there are 2 options. We can decide to comply with whatever it is that the Labour Commission has given. We can also decide to, not to comply, attracting all the implications in whatever it is. So we meet at the court.
I see.
So those are the 2 possible things that can come.
I see.
Nobody should live under the illusion that we are meeting on Tuesday to call off the strike action. We are meeting with our members to to take the views and opinions of the grassroots supporters, and we decide accordingly whether we have to call it off or we don't have to call
Prince,
it off.
I'm going to have you hold the line. Let's talk to Mohammed Amin Mansiru. He is National President of the Teachers Trainee Association. And Mohammed, you had SETAC. What are your thoughts on all of the back and forth?
Come again?
I'm asking, what are your thoughts on all of the back and forth between SETAC, the Labour Commission, and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and its employer, the Ministry of Education?
Well, I don't have much to actually say, but what I would like to say is that it's like we as a country have played a lukewarm attitude towards the development of education sector and then the teachers, for that matter, and teacher education in the country. And this is because we have, in recent time, witnessed intermittent strike actions by the various teacher unions in the country, who are to be the service providers in the sector. My dear sister, I am speaking today from the bottom of my heart. If we are not careful, education in this country is going to run down. Every developed country developed very well to this level as a result of education. And Ghana, as we are playing a very strong role in so far as education is concerned. And look as if we are always playing a very downplay role in terms of education. And whenever it comes to teacher trainees, we are doing away with their allowance. When it comes to SETAC, they have problems with the government. When it comes to permanent teachers, they have problems with the government. What is going on? Stakeholders can come together and solve this problem amicably. If we don't do this, then it is going to go down the long way to affect the ordinary child in the classroom. As I'm speaking to you, all activities in colleges of education have come to a halt. Students are roaming about. They have less than 1 week to write their exams. There are no lectures to teach them. Project work supervision has come to a halt. Teaching practice has come to a halt. There is virtually nothing, which means that a person might even complete his course of studies and will not have the total knowledge that he deserves or to have and send it on permanent source. So what are we doing to our education system in the country? So I am only appealing to the government that if there is any possibility or any stakeholder, that you quickly call on the executives of SETAC, sit them down and solve this problem amicably.
Mohammed,
will not solve this problem for us.
Mohammed, you do realize the Ministry of Education said we've set up a committee already to look into the matter of SETAC. The National Labour Commission has called SETAC, has asked them to go back to the classroom. But you heard Prince, they are clear that their meeting on Tuesday is not to go back to the classroom. If all of these things are being done and you don't want to go to the classroom, what else can be done?
Well, I think they are frustrated because they think the government have delayed its process in responding to them. Because I quite remember that whatever letter they write, they do copy to us because they are our lecturers and they are teaching us, and they always copy us. And I remember last year we received their letter that was telling us that they have written some letters to the government expecting to meet the government to solve these problems. And we came in, we pleaded with them, and they came back to classroom. They taught us, we wrote our exams, and then went back home. So we were thinking that at least this year those problems will be solved. So it is to my surprise that as at now these problems have not been solved. So I think it is just due to the frustration on their part, seeing how or the slow pace at which their problems presented to the government is not being solved. But on that notwithstanding, I would our appeal to them that they should consider the fate of teacher trainees, and for that matter, the ordinary child that the teacher trainee would become a permanent teacher to go and teach and come back to the classroom while the government look at this issue.
Mohammed, I'll end our conversation here with you. Thank you very much for joining us once again.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Mohammed Amin Mansiru is National President of the Teacher Trainees Association. But Prince Obeyhima, who is Secretary of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, is still over the telephone. Prince, we were made to understand that a Labour Commission was entering a meeting with you. A meeting SETAC had said would be at. What exactly went down at this meeting?
Yeah, it was a hearing kind of a thing. They listened to us, they listened to the ministry and passed their judgment. So we presented our case, the ministry presented their case, and they passed a judgment. But let me quickly mention something. I've heard the PRO of the ministry, Mr. Krampa, saying that we shouldn't rush, we are rushing. I want him to put a stop to that thing. Supposing he has had to work from 2004 till this time without receiving due remuneration, will you call that a rush? You know, let us be dispassionate about the whole thing. We are doing our work, we have our masters to please, and what have you. But when we use such words as we are Russian and what have you, that is unfair. When we started doing this work from 2004, we are not even saying when they are ready with our salary, they should start from 2004. We have been benevolent to the people, saying that when they are ready, they should start from 2012 when the act became law. So it means from the work we did from 2000 or the work we did from 2004 to 2012, we have crashed everything, thrown everything into the dustbin, right? And you call this a rush? So we when people, our membership hear people use such words, it infuriates them the more.
But you heard from Mohammed, the president of the Teacher Trainee Association, the fact that there was project work to be done, the fact that exams is just about a week away. Is that hitting a nerve for you in the right places at all?
We are not happy. We are sorry. We are disappointed that we have come this far. But the good thing is that CITAC has been very clear. We have been transparent. And the CITAC president duly mentioned that in all the communications, we have been copying them. Now, if we have to write 2-3 letters, well, I'm not going to tell you what went in there yesterday. But I can assure you that we wrote 3 letters to the ministry, officially, on our record. We had only one that, they responded. That was when we issued the declaration of the 10th. Now, this attitude, you impose this posture because you think you have power, because you think you are in authority. Mother, what you have to know is that in the face of this economic hardship, people having to go out there to pay money to do their second degree and third degree so they can function in the tertiary dispensation. When indeed, if we're in tertiary, the universities or the tertiary system would have funded all these things. People have to do all these things themselves. They come back to have Ghana produce, diplomas to man the basic education of the country. You tell them we have nothing. It's taking you more than 2 years to put together what you are supposed to put right. I'm telling you, we have one of the finest cases of the century. Nobody should, live under the impression that we don't have a case. We believe that we have one of the finest labor cases of the century.
Right.
So we await what happens on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Prince, once again. Prince Obinghima is Secretary for the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana. Let's get to the Upper West, where the Regional Police Command Wednesday morning stopped the operations of a local radio network, Submali FM. 6 policemen led by the acting Upper West Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Police Service, ASP Edmond Edinkra Nyameche, during the morning show program and disconnected and removed 2 central processing units from their computers.
Police also picked the 2 panelists, former Ward Central Youth Organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Abudu Muniru, and Brima Matthew, the 2012 parliamentary candidate of the People's National Convention for the Dafiema Busi Isa constituency. They were discussing the recent upsurge in cases of armed robbery in the Wa municipality when 6 gun-wielding policemen marched into the studios, ordered them to stop the program, picked the duo out, and drove them to the Upper West Regional Office of the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service. They were asked to write statements, which they refused to do. ASP Nyameche explained the action of the police.
Inviting them to come and give us, you understand, the information that they have, the information that was put in the public domain. They should come and then substantiate and give us, maybe to give us a lead.
What is the information?
The information was that they are aware somebody is training armed robbers in a section in town, and police were aware, they are also aware. For now, as I'm standing here, I'm not aware. So since they are aware, they are here to lead us to where they supposed camp for the training of these armed robbers. And even if they know some of these armed robbers, they can lead us to arrest them.
ASP Nyameche also said they were investigating if the radio station is licensed by the National Communications Authority. Efforts to speak to the 2 panelists failed. Meanwhile, the general manager of Sungmali FM, Abdullah Dan Hassan, has expressed worry about the behavior of the police.
On a radio talk show, has made derogatory statements against police just to come in there and take the gadgets away. I made a straightforward point that it is something that is unheard of, is untoward. You cannot take such an action. I heard the PR also did indicate that we don't have a license. The last time I had a discussion with him, and he made a similar point and reiterated as to whether we pay our tax at all. I asked him whether he works with the Ghana Revenue Authority. If you suspect we don't pay our taxes, then you go to the GRA and let GRA come for us. In any case, if you're working within less than a year, how do you expect us to pay our tax when that is not the regulation of the MCA?
Rafiq Salam's report from WA.
Let's get the latest on this. Rafiq Salam has joined us over the telephone. Hello, Rafiq.
Hello, Kamini.
What's the latest on this?
The latest is that the Upper West Regional Police Command, led by the Regional Commander, ACP Kwesi Mensah-Duku, just ended a press conference about 10 minutes ago. And they are saying that what transpired yesterday for them, the statement that is alleged to have been made by Abudu Muniru, former West Central Constituency Youth Organizer of the NPP, is in bad taste. But they think that their act yesterday was unprofessional. They think that it was high-handedness on their part, and the regional commander is apologizing profusely to the media and especially to Somali FM for yesterday's week. And so a press conference just ended, and they are apologizing to the media and saying that they are apologizing and they hope that they will not continue on that tangent again.
As of Wednesday, the panelists had refused to put down a statement. What's happened now?
The panelists, later their statements were taken from them, and then after that they were granted bail, about 10,000 Ghana cedis each.
Are they still in police custody?
They were removed after 4 hours of being detained at the regional CID office.
Have they been officially charged?
They were not charged. According to the commander this morning, he said that they were not charged because of the social setting of the people here. They are not able to even get a tip of the allegation that the guy is said to have made, because they are saying that it's Abudu Muniru, who is the West Central Youth Organizer, former West Central Youth Organizer of the NPP, who has made those statements. But they went on to arrest 2 people. So those statements that are made by the former West Central Youth Organizer of the party, Abudu Muniru, according to them, it's in bad taste. But they are saying that they have not gotten the tape, and because they also don't understand Wali, and because of the social setting of the people are not ready to give information. So they have no other option than to let them go.
No charges. They were held for 4 hours, but you tell me they were given bail of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Is that it?
Initially, that was what they were told yesterday. But as of now, the commander at the press conference said that they have asked them to go because they have asked them to go. But they will still come back to the issue. They will still investigate the matter. And then if they are found, if he is found culpable, then he will bring justice to him.
Now, the police was also worried that perhaps this Sugmali radio station or Sugmali FM didn't have any form of license from the National Communication Authority. What have they found out?
They are saying that they are still investigating, but for them, according to the commander, it was not part of the raid, and so it was not part of the raid, and for them, they wouldn't want to double in that, and so they are not talking about license, they are not talking about whether they are paying taxes, but their focus now is one issue, which is about that allegation that the guy is alleged to have said that they know where they are training armed robbers, and the police know, and so that's what they are investigating on for now, but they are not doubling into the issue of whether they are paying taxes or they are licensed or not.
I see. Thank you very much, Rafiq. Rafiq Salam joined us from the Upper West region. Let's get to, we'll stay in the area. And the newly sworn-in District Chief Executive of Wa East, Abdul Karim, has appealed to the people of the district to join him bring development to the area. Shortly after being sworn into office by the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Ephraim Avia Nso, he noted the need to have all who contested him on board in developing the district. Another report by Rafiq Salam.
50-year-old Abdul Karim Abudu was confirmed by the assembly members in the Wa East district following 2 rounds of voting that took place early this month. In the first voting that took place on the 3rd of January 2014, he polled 19 votes, falling short of 3 votes to enable him get confirmed as the district chief executive. The assembly then reconvened on January 9, 2014, with all 11 government nominees replaced by new ones, and who were immediately sworn into office by the district magistrates, enabling Abudu to obtain 26 of the 36 votes cast to get the nod of the assembly. He was sworn into office by the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Ephraim Abia Inso. Dr. Abia Inso advised him to work assiduously to bring all factions of the assembly together for the purpose of development. He pointed out that the districts considered to be the poorest in the region cannot develop if the people fail to support the district chief executive and the assembly. The newly sworn district chief executive thanked President Mahama and the assembly members for the confidence reposed in him.
A lot has taken place. You rarely see that the House is either divided or polarized. But I can assure you that my main effort is to bring everybody on board. Started the race at 17, and it's not because I am probably better than any one of them. It's just because by the grace of God, I happen to emerge first. So I will therefore call upon all the 17 members. Each one of them has an idea. Bring your ideas on board.
Rafiq Salam's reports from Wa.
SocioServe Ghana, a non-governmental organization based in Akosumo in collaboration with Right FM, a local radio station based in Samanya, in partnership with Star Ghana, has organized a stakeholders forum on improving access to maternal health care in the eastern region. One key finding is that women who will not want to be attended to by male health assistants will not access maternal health care. Haruna Yusufumpani reports.
The forum seeks to engage various stakeholders in the health sector in a discussion to identify maternal health issues within the health service delivery and to find ways of addressing the issue. Speaking on the theme, multi-stakeholder collaboration towards maternal health improvement in the eastern region, the Chief Executive Officer of SocioServe Ghana, Josephine Saki, explained that the organization has begun implementing action for maternal health improvement in 5 selected districts and municipalities in the eastern region. The communities include Lower Menyakrobo, Kwabebirim, Kwehu East, Birim Central, and Esujaman. Josephine Saki said their outfit has been able to dialogue successfully with chiefs in some communities who have provided land or accommodation for the establishment of CHIPS compounds.
Since February 2013, we have implemented some key actions under this project, some of which have resulted in changes at the community and district levels. Using the community scorecard methodology, we have been able to gather and collate information on maternal health care delivery at the community level from community members as well as from health workers.
The manager in charge of JMK consulting firm, Osman Mensah, explained to Joynews how they've conducted the research on maternal health care in the communities.
At the district and community level, one key issues that came up are the issues of male health officers attending to expectant mothers. Socioculturally, this is an issue in the community. Some expectant mothers are not willing to avail themselves to be examined by male health officers posted to.
Now, Multimedia Group Limited, parent company of Joy FM, will on Friday, January 24, hold a special event to remember the late iconic broadcaster Komla Duma, who died last Saturday in London. The former host of the Super Morning Show on Joy FM and Focus on Africa on BBC died suddenly at his London home at age 41. The remembrance event, dubbed Multimedia Remembers Komla, will be a time for staff of the company to share their memories of Komla. Meanwhile, Joynews' Israel lies in London and has been speaking with Lord Paul Boateng and some Ghanaians who shared with him the experience with Komla.
How would you want us to remember Komla Dumo?
My memories of Komla at media events in South Africa, in Kenya, in Ghana, here in London are of a journalist of outstanding integrity, deep insights, a warm and engaging personality. One always had a sense that this was a journalist in full command of his brief. He was, for me, the outstanding African journalist of his generation, and he'll be much missed.
What did he represent to you?
I think he represented for me journalistic excellence, a character and a mentality that was deeply rooted in Ghana and in Africa. He was, of course, a journalist on the world stage, but you never forgot that this was a proud African who brought insights, who brought an understanding that was reflective of an African personality. And this is a very precious thing in the media, and one where sadly all too many are found wanting. But with Komla, always you had this integrity, this sense of his roots, a vision and clear-sightedness, which really will be terribly missed, I think, in the media, but also, amongst his friends, his family, and one's heart goes out to his family at this time, his lovely wife, their children, his beloved sister, his extended family. This is a grave loss.
Indeed. Where were you and how did you get the news?
I was in Switzerland. I was at a meeting. My wife rang in tears. Janet was a close friend of the family, as was I. His sister Mawena was a dear, dear friend of my wife, Lady Boateng, and myself. And we just couldn't believe it. We were shell-shocked, frankly, that a young man in the full vigor of life, he was a larger-than-life personality, smart and sharp in mind and in suit. And I think we need to reflect on the happy times. We need to reflect on his strength of character, his wisdom, and his vitality. That has been extinguished in one sense, but in another sense, his light in memory burns as bright as ever.
Any particular interesting encounter you had with him that you'd like to share with us?
Well, for me, I can recall a number, but in all of them, there was this sense of humor. There was this sense that there was an intellectual grasp that was underpinned by an emotional intelligence, so that whatever was going on around him, always he came straight to the point. Wherever there was chaos, and sometimes when you are, because he was not just a broadcaster, he was a great compere, and sometimes events go wrong. But Komla was never at a loss for words, and we will miss him, dear brother.
How would you want him to be remembered?
As the outstanding journalist of his generation, as a great African, as a loving husband, father, and brother, and a friend to so many.
Right, so here at number 13 Belgrave Square in central London, a book of condolences is being opened for Komla Dumo, people wanting to pay their last respects and write tributes to him. And so I've been encountering some of them, and they've been speaking to me and telling me their encounters with Komla Dumo and how they like him to be remembered. And I have one lady here with me. Please tell me your full name.
I'm Dorothy, and everyone knows me as D.
Okay. Yeah. So, Dorothy what?
Osei.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how exactly do you remember Komla?
Growing up in Ghana, obviously, I did work for Vibe FM, so that is how obviously we all got to know Komla, because I think he was on Joy that time. So that is how I know growing up. When I moved to London and he moved over, we became a bit more closer because I decided to start chasing my dreams, which was in fashion styling. And I remember he used to encourage me a lot. So how do I remember him? He was a very encouraging person, and he always pushed people to chase their dreams. So, yeah.
My name is Frank Anderson, and I'm based here in London.
Okay, what do you do here?
I'm a journalist here as well.
Okay. So, how do you remember Komla?
Well, for me, Komla was a friend. Not that close friend, but we met. So I attend various business conferences here, and anytime we met, Komla was always cracking jokes with us. And to see a person that has attained that status in life, still having time to go back to his roots. I mean, those of us, his younger ones, he always found time to be with us. And so, for me, not only Ghana, Africa has lost a very important personality. For me, Komla Dumo was a brand of Africa. He told the African story nobody else was prepared to tell. And so he'll be greatly missed.
He also spoke with the High Commissioner, who tells us arrangements made to get Komla's body flown back to Ghana.
Well, the nature of our job is such that we stay up 24 hours, especially in London. So mid-morning, Saturday, I had a message that Kobna, something had happened to him. And I hadn't heard from him. I hadn't spoken to him for some time, so I wasn't sure as to exactly what was happening to him. So we started doing our investigations, and we found out that he wasn't, he had fallen sick and had been taken to a hospital. But within 30 minutes, we got confirmation that he had passed away. We got in touch with the brother who is in the U.S., tried to get him here as soon as possible. But of course, coming down from the U.S., he needed a visa and whatever. So we came to the mission and worked it out. So fortunately for us, everything is fine. He will be coming tomorrow morning. But I did also make contact with the spouse, the widow, and the senior staff of the High Commissioner and myself paid her a visit, and she was not in the best of condition, as you can imagine, emotionally. But she handled herself well. She was able to explain to us the circumstances under which Komla passed away. The High Commissioner missed some opportunities to get a body in the shape that he's supposed to be in. So I will insist that everything be done before it's said. If it takes us a week, fine. I don't think there is any rush, to send, but because the community has very high expectations, and I'm telling you, if we don't give the community what it wants, they will lynch me, and I don't want to be lynched.
You're still watching News Today. Let's do some business news now. Real GDP for the third quarter of 2013 grew by 0.3% from the 6% recorded in the second quarter of 2013. The growth is as a result of the services sector recording a high growth rate of 6.7%.
The nominal gross domestic product for the third quarter of 2013 stood at about 24.99 million cedis, while the non-oil GDP at current prices was about 23.27 million. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the three major sectors which contributed to the GDP estimate are the services sector, which contributed a high of 46.3%, followed by agriculture with 30.4% and industry with 23.3%. Though the services sector showed no evidence of seasonality, the crops and cocoa subsectors of agriculture reflected a positive growth of 2.2% over 1.5% recorded in the second quarter of 2013. The mining and quarrying subsector and the industry, however, declined, recording a rate of negative 14.7% over the 3.7% recorded in the second quarter.
We had oil production declining by 16%, and that was as a result of operational maintenance of the Jubilee field. And then we are talking about the decline of in the prices of gold, and even the decline in the production of gold. So that alone, the production of gold, the decline was 29.7%. So when that happens, it affects the GDP. We also had a shortfall in the production of diamond by 11.3%.
The manufacturing subsector also recorded a negative growth of 4.7% over the previous quarter's negative rate of 19.8% due to the production of food and beverages, refined petroleum products, and the manufacture of paper and its products.
The new value-added tax, VAT, rate of 17.5% came into effect early January. This followed the presidential assent given the VAT Act 2013, Act 870 on December 30, 2013, and its subsequent gazetting the following day. Under the regime, the standard rate, which was 12%, moves up to 15%, while the National Health Insurance Levy remains at 2.5%. The Ghana National Association of Importers say the increase and the existence of special levies is double taxation. Finance and Economic Planning Minister Setekwe, in his budget reading, said government will remove taxes imposed on agricultural and fishing inputs, including outboard motors and medical supplies like condoms. The special import levy, which was expected to close in 2015, will end in 2014, but the importers are raising issues of members being double taxed. Asaki Samson Awingobit is General Secretary, Ghana National Association of Importers. We'll talk about the situation over the next few minutes. Thank you very much, Asaki, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, my sister, and Happy New Year, and our condolences to Multimedia Group of Companies as well.
Absolutely.
We really lost a great son.
We have.
We are all in the moment.
But let's talk about you now. And you think it's double taxation, the VAT rate?
Absolutely.
Explain.
Yeah, as you rightly asked me, it is a double taxation. In the aspect of the Importers Association, I am not the Secretary General, but I am the Executive Secretary.
The Executive
Secretary of the Association of Importers. What is happening is that already in 2013, by the end of 2013, Ghanaians who does the importation of goods into this country were already complaining about the double taxation, about the special levy that was on the neck of importers. Indeed, my sister, I can simply show you how many taxes Ghanaians are paid in this country. And what is happening is that the individual, if you look at how many industry import into this country, those who import huge or those who have the user business or the consumer business are the individual. And the individual goods are what you and I are consuming. The fridges, in which it is an unfortunate story now. Fridges have been banned. Up to now, we are in talks with government. We don't know when they will lift this ban. To the TVs, chlorine that they bring to this country, sandals, and a lot of you. What of you that you think that, even stuffing chairs that they bring to this country?
Asaki, explain something to me. For me, I'm not an importer, but I understand that this VAT is a retail tax. How is a double tax for you who import?
Good. If someone says it's a retail tax, that is the consumer who are going to pay for it. It is like we are all both paid. An importer used to pay 12.5%, okay, before the increment of 2.5%, all right, as import duty. As we speak with you, it is now 15%. An importer used to pay 2% of national health insurance levy. Okay, now it has been increased to 2.5%. Even indeed, the 2.5, the national health insurance levy at the time they were before government was introducing it, they made it known to Ghanaians that after 3 years in taxing to set up the national health insurance, when by then the national health insurance get its grounds, they will take it off. As we speak now, in the books it's still running, which is illegal, but they are even increasing it. It is not being increased from 2% to 2.5%. So it tells you that if an importer brings goods to the port, he's going to pay 17.5% to clear the goods. That's what you know. Is it not adult taxation? 2, the special levy which is still on it. So even when there was only special levy that importers in this country were complaining to government, were appealing to government, the government should do something about it. Because other jurisdictions, it's not like that. It's not only Ghana that has that does importation of goods. It is not only Ghana that has seaport or airport. Okay, so it tells you that every importer, whether you are carrying goods from Aflao, Elibo, or Temaport Airport or Takoradi Port, everyone is paying. Now, if the importer pays so much at the port and bring the goods out, he or she is going to increase whatever expenditure that the cost of the goods before the goods came out. Then you and I cannot go, even though we may have the desire to package, we don't have the power to do the packaging. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about economic hardship on the consumer. So if government listen to our appeal, and then take off the special levy off, then it's some kind of way release the importer. So the importer will know that it is not only in this government, or it's not this government that we are asking. Look, in 2004 budget, when they read the budget, there was some kind of tax exemptions in this country. And I can read them to you. Reduction in vehicle income tax for articulated trucks from 1.2 million to 90,000 Ghana cedis. Reduction of import duties and removal of VAT on selected import. So I can tell you, reduction in import duty on aluminium ingot from 10% to 5%. It was 10%, but it was reduced to 5% to make those who are into aluminium industry
obviously
some kind of relief. I just want to
it's making, for the sake of time, we may not be able to go through it bullet by bullet.
All right.
But obviously, it's affecting business for you.
It's affecting in the sense that if the importer pays so much and bring the goods out, the goods will have to, because of the cost, the so much cost that the person paid, the goods is going to lock up at the warehouses, the goods is going to lock up at the store because nobody's buying. It is true. If you drive through La Paz today, I went there personally. Everybody's complaining, look, I paid so much, I brought the goods. Even
have you made this known to government?
Government is aware. It is not. What is happening is that we have a group, we have an organization in this country called Ghana Shippers Authority. This is the agent. This is the agency of government that says that they are there to the mandatory role is to make sure that to defend, to protect, and to develop importers and exporters of this country. As we speak now, Importers Ghana Shippers Authority has not come out with any communique to us or to the public or to the importer in this community that we have made ABCD on behalf of you. But you know the point, the serious thing is that importers are paying 9 Ghana cedis on declaration, on every declaration that is done in this country when you are going to pay duties. Then it goes to National Shippers Authority, Ghana Shippers Authority. But if these are the issues, the people are complaining about it, what do you expect the importers to do? The only place is to come together as a union, like we are speaking now, that if importers, if Ghana Shippers Authority is not speaking for that, we will speak for ourselves. Right. Because we have the right, as other people have the privilege from other union, like TUC, like ICU, like whatever. That anytime government is doing something like it does not go well. I think you told me about, you get two news about association of, is it university teachers or which people?
Absolutely.
They went on strike. They went on strike.
Absolutely.
It's because they are not satisfied. So if you are not satisfied, you have to look at it.
We'll leave the conversation here. We'll get some responses to some of the questions you have raised. Asaki Samson is Executive Secretary for the Ghana National Association of Importers. Now, the World Bank in its first ever Tourism in Africa report has classified Ghana and the countries maintaining and consolidating successes in the tourism sector. Ghana and Cape Verde are the only 2 lower middle income countries in that category. The World Bank wants, if the growth chalked by Ghana is not well managed, it could threaten the viability of tourism resorts. Amongst the recommended strategies include increasing visitor arrivals in the North Peak season or seasons by pricing incentives. Now, senior United Nations officials are warning that the human rights and humanitarian situation in the Central African Republic continues to deteriorate and that if not stopped, there is a risk of genocide in the country. 4 senior UN officials Wednesday briefed the Security Council on developments following their mission to the country last month. President Barack Obama will deliver his State of the Union address Tuesday before a joint session of Congress and tens of millions of people watching on television. This year's speech offers the president an opportunity to begin to turn around his sagging political fortunes. 2013 took a political toll on Obama. The difficult rollout of his signature achievement, the healthcare reform law, was a major factor in sending his public approval to new lows. The latest national poll from Quinnipiac University found 40% of those surveyed approve of the job the president is doing, compared to 54% who disapprove. And show business self-acclaimed dancehall king Shatta Wale sounded a caution to the organizers of the Ghana Music Awards, telling them not to nominate him if they will not give him any award after that.
Sometimes the Godfather in a MBT we are right armor.
It's almost a year now since Shatta Wale suddenly became the most sought-after performer in Ghana after he caused commotion and broke glasses at the Accra International Conference Center, insulted award winner Kaki and Charterhouse, organizers of the awards, simply because he did not win any award during the 2013 edition of the Ghana Music Awards. He even composed a song to diss Kaki, who won in the category that he, Shatta Wale, was nominated, the dancehall category, and the organizers of the awards. Well, Shatta Wale, who said in the diss song that he doesn't need any award to survive, when asked by Peace FM's Kwesi Abuaje if he would cause any commotion this year if he doesn't win any awards, said, quote, then they shouldn't nominate me and they shouldn't even invite me to the awards night for them to have another Osama bin Laden kind of fun. They shouldn't invite me when they know they are not going to give me any award, unquote. Keep your fingers crossed and let's see what Shatta Wale could be up to.
Our main stories for those are Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana members yet to return to class after the National Labour Commission directed them to call off their illegal action and return to the classroom. World Bank and its first ever Tourism in Africa reports classifies Ghana and the countries maintaining and consolidating successes in the tourism sector. Senior United Nations officials are warning the human rights and humanitarian situation in the Central African Republic continues to deteriorate, and if not stopped, it could risk genocide in the country. That's more news on MyJoyOnline.com. Thank you very much for staying through the hour. My name is Kimini Nyamani. I'm going to go bye for now.